Your 20s are just weird. You're half planning your future, half ignoring all your responsibilities. Meanwhile, all your friends are getting married, getting promoted, training for a marathon, or finding themselves in Thailand. And look, I can't help you book a one-way ticket to Southeast Asia, but I can give you 5 businesses that you could basically start today. Now, don't worry, these aren't the same recycled do dropshipping or become an influencer ideas you see online. These are real businesses with low startup costs and low barrier to entry and enough upside that they can actually grow with you, even if you're starting with basically nothing. Which, let's be real, most of us are. Let's get into it. Starting with number 5, reselling items. Now, I know this isn't the most glamorous or the most sexy, but let me tell you what, it is lucrative. Now, what does reselling entail? It's basically buying the things that people don't value and reselling them to people who do. In its simplest form, Facebook Marketplace is your storefront and the thrift store is your inventory. Sometimes you don't find anything, but sometimes you find a $15 lamp that you can resell for $100 because someone is really committed to their farmhouse aesthetic. It's super low risk, there's hardly any barrier to entry, and there's an immediate payoff. Even better if you're handy and can do some minor improvements, like switching out knobs for some cool decorative ones, or making a statement piece by giving something a new paint job. The world is your oyster, and by world, I mean the local Goodwill. Another plus side is that it's sustainable and eco-friendly in a world that is drowning in overproduction. Business Insider reported that long-term sellers make well over $100K in annual revenue. Sorry, I need to go to my local Goodwill right now. I'll be right back. Moving on to number 4, notary services. Because nothing says entrepreneurship journey like stamping legal documents in silence. But stay with me here. In the US, it only costs about $100 to $200 to become a notary, and they're in super high demand. Whether someone's buying a home, selling a home, finalizing a will or a contract, transferring a vehicle, signing a business contract, there are so many life moments that require a notary. Even when people notarize documents online, that still requires a living, state-commissioned human being. It may not be glamorous, but it is extremely consistent. Plus, you can make your own hours. Cherry on top, the National Notary Association reported last year that most full-time mobile notaries earned $4,000 or more per month. And suddenly, notary services are sounding a lot more interesting than they did 90 seconds ago. Moving on to number 3, elderly services. This is basically helping older adults with everyday things that they just can't do as easily anymore. So think errands, grocery shopping, transportation, tech help, figuring out why the TV remote doesn't work. Just change batteries. Stuff that might sound small, but for a lot of people out there, it really isn't. Now, this isn't a trend business. This is a needs-based business. The reality is we're living in an aging population. There are more older adults today than there have ever been, and that number is only going up. The US has over 58 million people that are aged 65 or older today. Not a bad market. Plus, the barrier to entry is really just being reliable, like showing up when you say you will and doing what you say you're gonna do, which honestly will put you ahead of half of everyone else in their 20s right now. Okay, quick tip before we keep going. If you start any of the businesses on this list, you might need to start an LLC sooner than you might think. Not just because it looks cool and fancy, but because it's a responsible thing to do as a business owner. For example, let's say right now you get sued. Without an LLC in place, your personal assets would be on the line. But if you had an LLC, that lawsuit would stay on the business side of that wall and your personal assets would be safe. All right, let's get into the rest of the video. Moving on to number 2, Google Business Profile Optimization. This is basically making sure that local businesses actually show up when people search for them on Google. A lot of local businesses either don't show up at all, or they show up but with no profile, no pictures, absolutely the wrong business hours, and really limited information. It's like Google saying, yeah, this place might exist, but good luck. So what you do is go in and fix that. Call local businesses around you that look like they might need your help. Clean up the profile, add photos, write a simple description, and set it up so that they actually show up when people are searching for them on Google. The way people make money with this is pretty simple. Charge a setup fee per business, anywhere from $200 to $500 to get everything cleaned up and optimized. Then you move into monthly retainers, usually a couple $100s a month to maintain the listing, keep everything updated, and manage reviews. And once you stack that, even just 5 to 10 local businesses, you're making $2 to $5 grand a month. You're like a digital housekeeper. And finally, number 1, print on demand. It's popular for a reason. This is basically selling products online and you don't actually have to hold on to any inventory. So you design something like a shirt, a hoodie, a mug, or a sticker, and when someone buys it, a third party actually prints it and ships it for you. So you never actually touch the product. Instead of trading time for money with local services, you're putting something out once and it can keep selling over and over again. Now, realistically, this isn't instant money. Beginners usually make a few hundred a month or nothing at first. But when you find your niche, boom. You're not limited by hours, clients, or location. You're basically unlimited. The question is, how many things can you put out there that people actually want to buy? Established sellers who find winning designs hit $5,000 a month or more, especially if they build out multiple stores or lean into different niches. You can build something that keeps working while you're not. It's not necessarily easier than the other ones on this list, but it is the only one that can scale without you adding in more time, which is why some people treat this like a side hustle and others treat it like their full-time job. Like they say, time is money, baby. And that's 5 businesses you can start in your 20s. Some local, some online, but all of them are real ways you can start making money without needing a perfect plan. At some point, you just have to rip off the Band-Aid, pick something, and just start. And when you do start something, don't skip the setup part of it. Most people treat that like something they'll figure out later, until later turns into paperwork and problems they didn't sign up for. We can help you with that. At Northwest Registered Agent, we help business owners with all the legal setup, the ongoing compliance, and the behind the scenes that turn an idea into an actual business. And if you want to get ahead of the game, we actually have a step-by-step guide on how to start your business in 2026. You can check that out below. See you next time.